Y'all heard that smooth jazz right there. So when you hear that smooth jazz, I think y'all know by now, man, it's time to focus. Time for the Focus LBK show. I'm your host, Robert Jenkins, and you may notice a little something different about my lighting situation. I ain't gonna lie, they got your boy ripping and running. I be over here and over there, but I'm trying to set lights up over here and set lights up over there. So I done took my lights down right here so I could use them at another shoot, and then forgot to bring them back. Boy, I tell you what, they doing your boy bad. No, they doing me good, actually. When ripping and running mean you're busy and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's real good. And I'm a little flushed right now. Y'all might can tell. I don't know, my lighting sucks. But maybe y'all can tell I'm flushed. And that's because I just came over there from Patterson Library, where Miss Theresa Wilson and her crew, the stalwart crew over there, is running the National Night Out as sponsored by the Patterson Library. I tell you what, man, I love being at stuff like that. And that's how I know that's part of my mission to do what I do. And the reason I know is because I get that feeling of fulfillment when I'm over there. You know what I'm saying? And you get to see so many familiar faces when you're over there. That's the thing. That's one of the things of beauty about this fair city of ours. See, a lot of people think they like to live in Dallas and Houston and stuff. And I've been to them places. I spent quite a bit of time in Houston. My lovely wife from Houston. We got family down there. We down. That's our second home in Texas. You know what I'm saying? And we used to stay in San Antonio. And in college, I was pretty familiar with Big D-Time. But you know what, though? I don't think you're going to get the same type of feeling of community down there that you get here. In Lubbock, it almost feel like you know everybody. You don't, because let's get real, there's 300,000 people around this mug, but it almost feel like you know everybody, and that's a good feeling, though. That is a real good feeling. One reason that's a good thing is because you know it can't be too much bullcorn when you know where the mayor stay. You know what I'm saying? You know where your city council members stay. It ain't in no gated community. They ain't hiding out from. They right there. And speaking of the mayor and our city councilman, District 2 city councilman, I just saw both of those gentlemen up at Patterson. See, this is what I'm talking about. And I could have went up to the mayor. I didn't mess with him because honestly, I had been there a while. I was tired. I ain't no spring chicken no more. But I saw him up there and I could have just walked up to him and be like, hey, Mayor McBrayer, what you think about so-and-so? And he would have been like, well, and he would have told me. District 2 councilman would have told me the same thing. The librarians, all these people, in other words, they're accessible. And see, if you haven't lived outside of Lubbock or outside of a small to middle-sized city, you may not realize the importance of that. I mean, it's to the point where I feel like it's hard to be lonely in Lubbock. Now, I know it's some lonely people out there, but let me tell you, you ain't got to be lonely. Because you know all the folks around you. When I was up there at this National Night Out, man, every face I looked at, I say, man, I know that person. I look up, I say, man, I know that. I know her. I know him. I know her. Oh, don't you work with so-and-so? You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I look, it's somebody I know. Now, sometimes that can be a bad thing. You feel like people are all in your business, but guess what? Lubbock too big for that. That's why I say we just the right size. LBK, 300,000 people or so. That's a perfect size. It's big enough to be somewhat anonymous, but small enough to know folks when you see them. Or seem like you know them anyway. Sometimes it turns out you don't be knowing them. I'd be like, hey, didn't you go to Lubbock? They be like, nah, man, I went to Estacado. Oh, my bad. So I thought you was my homeboy from the football team, man. You look just like him. But I don't know, man. I'm just rambling because I'm coming down kind of from a high of being out amongst the community. But this is a good thing. A lot of people here in Lubbock don't know just how good we have it. I guess sometimes I don't really listen back to my podcasts when I do them alone like this. They just messages that, I'm just saying it as it comes through me. I used to try to script these mugs, and now I just say, no, let me just speak from the heart, right? I think it's more enjoyable. It's definitely, for me, more of an enjoyable thing. But speaking from the heart, man, I think that Lubbock, Texas is a special thing. Like T.J. Patterson used to say, Lubbock, Texas, USA. When you have been around a little bit, like in the military, You might not be in the USA. Everything ain't in the USA. That's why you got to designate Lubbock, Texas, USA. We're a special little city. And y'all have listened to me enough to know by now, I'm a booster for Lubbock. When I say booster, what I mean is almost like a supporter. You know what I'm saying? Like cheerleaders. They be boosters for the PTA. You know, they be people that support something, people that in the background and always shouting out the good things and helping fix the bad things, or at least trying to. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about Lubbock. Man, when I used to stay here before I moved and went to the military, it didn't seem like that big a deal. But I'm gonna tell you what, being gone for 25 years and then having the opportunity to come back and visit back in, I think it was 2020. And y'all have heard me tell this story before. I got 3 brothers, and 2 of them, my little brothers, was getting married. I think it was 2020 and 2021. So we came back, and one of them years it was a blizzard, 2020 maybe, I don't know. In 2021 we came back again. And both times when we was here, we enjoyed ourselves. And keep in mind, we was coming from DC area. What they call it, the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And they need to call it that too, because the area is so small, it ain't really one place. I mean, it ain't really no 3 cities. It's one big old jumbled, confused, trafficky, stress ball of stress. That's what it is. Ask me. I know y'all didn't ask me, but that's what I'm going to tell you anyway. That's why we had to get on out from up there. You know what I'm saying? We had to come on back down here. It was an immediate... It was apparent immediately that we had changed venues, we had changed feelings, we had changed people. The people are different. I can't remember nobody up in Maryland ever opening a door at the convenience store for me and saying, "Sir, excuse, here you go, sir," or something like that. Come back to Lubbock, everybody do that. You know what I'm saying? Almost everybody. It's some country bumpkins up here ain't got no sense. Matter of fact, it ain't even country bumpkin. It's some ungentlemanly, uncultured people here that don't do that. But it's ungentlemanly, uncultured people everywhere. Seems like it's more of them up there in DC area than it is down here. I don't care if DC getting mad because I talk smack about. I tell them to their face. Actually, I won't tell them to their face because ain't no way you can get me back up there. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to watch the podcast. They want to know what I think about them. I tell you what I was thinking though. We coming up on 100 episodes here at the Focus LBK show, inspired greatly by Mr. TJ Patterson, Mr. Eddie Richardson, doing that Southwest Digest, and being out here in the community, man. Being up here at this event up at Patterson, and I was thinking, I say, man, you know what we need to do? We need to modernize. Well, we need to expand, not modernize. What we're doing is already modern, but we need to kind of refine and expand our content offerings. And what I was thinking about was this, because today I was out there, I had my camera turned all sideways. You know how these young boys be doing. They be out here filming vertically, making these little, I don't know, TikTok videos. And who finna watch a TikTok video? I ain't. But I see how they doing it, and I say, well, you got to stay relevant. You got to keep up with the time. You know, these little young cats running around. So I say, man, let me turn my camera sideways. So y'all, if y'all saw me out there, I was out there doing some all this here. You know, we'll see. I don't even know how it's going to look. I'm scared when I get back and check it out on the monitor, it's going to be garbage. I'm be like, oh my God, I just spent like 2 hours in the sun and I got nothing. No, I got something. I looked at some of it. I was like, all right, we got something. I don't know what it's going to be. But while I was out there, sweating and smiling and skinning and grinning, you know what I'm saying, shaking hands and chilling, enjoying being with the community, seeing family and friends and loved ones. And that's another thing. I can't really think of nobody in Lubbock I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm that kind of fella. I don't really dislike nobody. And people say, I hate so-and-so, I hate I don't hate nobody. Anyway, I'm just rambling. What I'm trying to tell you is this. We're going to expand the content a little bit because the idea that I got is to walk around in the community, spend a day here and there once a week or something, and go out and just talk to some people. And yes, I'm going to have to film them vertically. Oh my God, here we go. I'm giving in. I'm a bit against my better judgment, against all my training as a videographer. I tell you what. I don't even want my former instructor to see me out here with no camera turned sideways. Boy, I get dissed. He'll fail me. I ain't even in his class no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, any future class you take, I'm failing you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way they do it. They turn it sideways. So I was out here walking around, and that's when, like I say, I got the idea. I say, man, let me catch some folks over at United's, May Simmons. You know what? That's not all of Lubbock. Let me catch some folks over here at Picosso's, over here at Cons and Targets over there on what is that? Marshall Sharp right there. That's some new stuff to me. I know it's old to y'all, but it's new to me. Wasn't no such thing as no Marshall Sharp when I left here, so it ain't really in my memory banks. But anyway, we're gonna walk around, I think, and just do little quick interviews, like 1 minute interviews. Hey, what you think about so and so? This is Robert from the Focus LBK show. Want to be on the podcast right here? You own. What you think about so and so? Boom, and put it out there. What y'all think about that? Did that sound like something y'all might be interested in? Because here's the thing: what we trying to do is facilitate communication between all parts of this fair, flat city of ours. That's really in our mission statement. Or at least it's in my head. I intended to be in the mission statement. I don't know if I wrote that on the mission statement or not. That's always what I was, that's, in other words, that's my idea. To be on the mission statement. To elevate the level of conversation in the community is what we're talking about. So I think that's a pretty good little idea. And I don't care. Some people say you ain't supposed to tell people your idea before you do it because they'll steal it. You can't steal it, man. Everybody already doing this stuff anyway. And plus, they can't do it the way I do it, and I can't do it the way they do it. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no such thing as stealing. It's called innovation. It's called getting in where you fit in and doing it like you do. I think it sounds like a pretty good idea. Y'all may not have guessed, but I have mentioned this before. I'm actually an introvert. So that's going to be yet another day of the week where I'm going to have to take a deep breath and take a shot of whiskey. No, I'm just playing. I ain't going to have to take a shot. But I'm going to have to get my game face on so I can go out there and mix and mingle, you know what I'm saying? Because that actually does not come easy to me. I know I make it look easy, but it don't. It don't come easy. I see. He say he make it look easy while he's sweating and stuff. Maybe I don't make it look easy. I don't know. My wife sitting over here, she looking at me like, he talking smack. I am. I guess like I say, I still have a sense of euphoria from being out there mingling with everybody. Man, I saw my family, some of my cousins. I guess they my cousins. I don't know what they is. I say what they is. I don't know what they are precisely, but they in the family. I know them. They on the other side of the Jenkins clan. You know what I'm saying? And I saw people I work with that I don't work directly with, but that are in the same organization that I don't ever get to see. And I see them, hey, what's up? Everybody out there see me, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up with them? And that is pleasant. I'm trying to tell you that. Now, see, this is what I'm trying to say to you. It's coming to me as I say it. This is what you call community. Huh. Look at that. And we didn't have no feeling of community. I think I can speak safely for my wife and kids and everybody. I feel like we didn't have no sense of community up in D.C. It's like Mordor. Y'all watch Lord of the Rings? I feel like Sauron's eye in D.C. just looking at you evil. Oh, golly, man. We stay right there, too, man. He looking right at us. I say, yeah, that's why we had to leave. He looking at us too hard. Y'all know I'm an introvert. I don't like being looked at by no Sauron anyway. But yeah, it was a real good time out there today. So I done came up with a good idea. Well, okay, I done did 2 things today that was dope. And I did a 3rd thing that was dope. So the first thing I did, I was filming sideways. Lord help me. Second thing I did, I saw all my friends and family and co-workers and everybody I know. Every face looked familiar. And the 3rd thing, I met a lot of people who I had intended to get here on the show as guests. And there are plenty of people here in LBK doing exquisite things for the community, in the community, and with the community, by the community, behind the community. You know what I'm saying? They all around the community doing good stuff. I ain't gonna call no names because I haven't even arranged all this stuff yet. And my wife over here, she watching me. I got a little audience of 1 right now. But she don't know this yet, and I ain't gonna tell her. Just between me and you, she gonna be contacting these people. I need some help because I be ripping and running. So she gonna actually be doing the producer's job and contacting and scheduling and arranging and stuff like that. So we coming up on the 100th episode, and my goal is to, like I say, expand the content a little bit. We're gonna take it up a notch as far as production values. I know my light ain't here. I look funny talking about production value going to rise up. So y'all like, yeah, look like production value falling. Okay, it fell today. This weekend, I'm going to get here and get my lights back up. But we're going to try to expand the content. We're going to try to do some man on the street stuff. That's what they call it in the business, man on the street interviews. We're going to try to, we're going to do more of that sideways stuff, quick little clips. And we're going to have some real good guests. I can tell you that. I can't tell you who they are. But I want y'all to stay tuned, stay with us. I want to say thank you, too, for sticking with us. This is episode 99, I think. I think what's, I think we're on 99. Wow. How many podcasts actually last to 100 episodes? Actually, not many. If you look at the stats, most podcasts, I think it's 10 or 15 episodes they last. So we hitting the big 100. 100 episodios, I guess is how you say it. My Spanish kind of rusty, but I don't know, man. Y'all stick with us. So today, I don't know what the message is today. Is just enjoy what you got. Sometimes take a step back and think about what you actually got. Not only living in a dope little gritty city. What I say? This track is beautiful and gritty, just like my city. We got a dope little beautiful gritty city. And that's a blessing to live in a place like this. Right now down at City Hall, they doing the budget hearings. And that's like a big old, hard, long, drawn out process. It is nerve wracking. Everybody be grinding. Everybody be, now I ain't gonna say stressed out because they are professionals, but they be really putting in some work to get this budget together. And when you go to other cities and look at their budget process, every city that I've ever lived in is horribly mismanaged. I mean, just ridiculously mismanaged. They in debt. If they was a person, I don't know, they would have a 500 credit score probably. You know what I'm saying? And be tens of thousands. If they was a person, they'd be like earning $50,000 a year and spending $75,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? That's for real. Like, no exaggeration. I looked at some news the other day. It was talking about Baltimore. Baltimore City, man, the theft and violence and poverty over there is just ridiculous. DC, same thing. The level of, what do they call it? Not the cost of living, but the quality of life. The quality of life in these other places that we have lived is horrible, as my wife would say. It's terrible. It is just not there. It's not even worth being there. You make a lot of money, but the quality of life is not there. It ain't worth making that much money to be there. You know what I'm saying? And then you sit here in our little budget sessions, and I think we fell a little short on the budget because sales tax is down because the economy is kind of shaky. But even falling a little short, we doing better than most cities do all the time. Some of these other cities never meet their budget. They never have a balanced budget. They be billions in billions of dollars like out of whack, in the negative. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to Lubbock and the biggest issue is where's the swimming pools at? Stuff like that. Those aren't even real issues. It seemed like it because we live in a little city like this and we used to having May Simmons pool. When I was coming up, it used to be George Woods pool. That's where I used to go a lot. I'm sure there was some other pools, Clap. We think about it now. We say, oh, they don't let the pools go, and that does kind of suck. But man, that is small potatoes compared to places like California, if California's budget is so big, there's so much money flowing in that state. They're like a country. If you put them on a scale, California is it's like the United States. Maybe another country, and then California or something don't quote me on that, but look it up and you'll see California, their budget is the size, their economy is the size of a country. And yet, look at the homeless people over there. We got about 50 homeless people in Lubbock. It's the same people you see everywhere. They be moving around. I don't know, we might have 200 homeless people. Man, please. I bet they got 20,000 homeless people in California. They got whole blocks, ain't nothing but broke down RVs with disgusting litter and human waste and stuff all around it. You know what I'm saying? and this is a state that has the economy of a country, and you know they can clean it up. I remember I saw a news article. It was about a year or two ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was President Xi of China, Xi Jinping, had come over to visit California for some reason or another, and freaking the governor cleaned up all the homeless stuff. They cleaned it all up when the Chinese dude was here. I say, what? Why wouldn't you keep it clean? Why would you only do that why would you only clean your house when foreign guests come over? You see what I'm talking about? I remember one time my daughter had a boyfriend from Maryland. They up in Maryland. See, I say Maryland. I don't know why. I guess I'm Texan. They talk worse than we do. They call it Merlin, like the wizard. This ain't no King Arthur. She had a boyfriend from Merlin, and he came down to visit, and he had said something to the effect of, "Looked like a bomb went off here." Well, first of all, he came in the winter, so of course the grass is dormant and the trees are bare. But I was thinking to myself, I say, no, you didn't. You come in wintertime to Lubbock, to the LBK, when the grass is dormant and the trees is bare. So yeah, it do look kind of austere down here. But dude, you come from Baltimore. Baltimore looked like a bomb went off on it every day. Baltimore looked like, I ain't even gonna say that because that's a touchy subject. I'm talking about the Gaza Strip. Baltimore looked like the Gaza Strip. I said I wasn't gonna say it. I said it anyway. Boy, no, you didn't come down here talking about my low gritty city. Boy, you better go on back up there to DC where you from. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't. It's all good, but I'm just saying, don't be talking about my city when your city look like. Man, when we first went to Baltimore, and my wife, she'll know. She know I'm telling the truth. The first time we went to downtown Baltimore, our mouths dropped up. We ain't never seen nothing like that. You see some poverty in Texas. You go Fifth Ward in Houston. Yeah, I've been there. I've been Third Ward. I've been to Green Fair. Back in the days, you'd be over here. We seen some poverty, but I ain't never seen no poverty like that in Texas, like what you see in DC. In DC, it looked depraved. It looked like it ain't fit. It ain't fit for human habitation, and yet humans be habitating up in that mud. I'm like, what in the? So, that's I guess what I'm saying though. I'm gonna stop dissing them. I'm gonna stop dissing them. They doing the best they can. Bless their little hearts. What I'm saying though, we got a lot of good things here in Lubbock, and I don't know. I think that's part of my mission is to remind everybody of that. Don't take for what you got for granted. Enjoy low cost of living, people with manners, 6 billion restaurants, even though it's only 300,000 people. Did I say low cost of living? How important is that? That is the most important thing of all, probably low cost of living. Enjoy 12 to 15 minutes to get anywhere in the city. Some people, not me, be speeding. I don't know why. Because if you go 35, it still ain't going to take you but 12 minutes to get there. You know what I'm saying? I don't speed, but some people do. Anyway, LBK, man, just wanted to remind y'all before we jet that we got the 100th episode coming up. So Sunday, what month is this? This is August. Sunday, August 10th. We're going to be filming the 100th episode. We have confirmed guests on the show. It's going, well, should I tell them? We got Mrs. Phyllis Gant. We got Mr. Delexay Johnson. We got Mr. Cosby Morton. And we got Mr. Cambrell Miller, my brother. Started the show out with me 2 years ago now. A little over 2 years, I think. And we're going to be down at Caville's. I got to train myself to say Caville's. Everybody say Caville's. We're going to be down at Caville's filming with a live studio audience. And we're going to be talking about how can we stop some of this violence. And I know, I just said how dope Lubbock is. It is, because the little old violence we got, that ain't nothing. I mean, it's something. It's enough to talk about, right? It's enough to figure out how to end it, but really it's indicative of a nationwide problem, probably a global problem, but specifically a nationwide problem in this country. So stay tuned for that, and if you can make it out, we'll have room for a small studio audience. And I say small, I'm talking about 10 or 15 chairs. You know, that's not a big space. And also, we're going to have cameras set up and all that, lights and stuff. So we don't want to overwhelm it. But we'll have a live studio audience. And some of the people I met out there today at the National Night Out over at Patterson, man, I tell you what, I got about, well, a handful of good guests, a group of good guests that said they ready to come on, that we had talked about it before, but you know, sometimes you lose contact and stuff like that. We didn't recontact it. We didn't reconstitute communication. Reestablish communication is what we have done. So look forward to that. New guests, new content, and the 100th episode coming up live. Now, I think I've said enough on this lovely Tuesday evening. I'm going to bid y'all adieu. Wish y'all peace and blessings. I'm going to step out.